Hey there, friends. We are together today to play into a practice that helps us to feel grounded. And the first thing that I want you to do is to come into Tadasana, in just a standing position where the feet are hip distance apart or just slightly wider than that. And from there, just come to stand relatively comfortably. You can even bend your knees a little bit and just land. And before we go any further, take a moment and invite in any support allies that help you to feel grounded, in a state of flow, and in a state of open receptivity. So that could be your spirit guides, that could be your ancestors, that could be a dear friend or a pet. And for me, one of the most powerful ways to ground my energy is to feel the truth that I have support, that I have allies, whenever I need access to that. Now start to draw your attention down into your feet, in the place where you're connected to the earth. Feel free to take a little bit of a weight shift. Shift a little forward, back, left, right. And just feel your placement on the earth. As we work into grounding today, we'll be playing with just standing postures. When we get into our legs and we stand tall and stand strong, it allows us to really ground our energy and feel that anchoring sensation into the body. Speaking of an anchor, take a moment, close your eyes. You can even bring one or both hands to your pelvis and envision a big, thick, heavy metal anchor in your pelvic bowl. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, allow that anchor to drop down through the crust of the earth, down through all the layers into the molten iron core. And feel that you are drawn down and anchored into earth in this way. Good. Okay. Little standing pose series. So heel toe your feet, or simply step your feet about 3 to 4 feet apart. Warrior two on the right side. Spin your right toes out. Left toes can spin in just slightly. Inhale, open the arms out. Exhale, bend forward into your right knee. Warrior two. Place your right forearm down onto your right thigh. Left hand can go up to the sky. If you need a little bit more grounding energy, you might take your left hand onto the flat of your sacrum. As you land here, feel how gravity pulls on your flesh and on your bones. Press down into the earth and feel how that allows you a little bit of a rebound, a little bit of a lift through the spine, through the tissues. Allow your breath to get slow and steady. Next inhale, everyone, arm comes up and over the ear. Exhale to rise up into warrior two. Reverse warrior, flip the front palm. Inhale, reach up and back. And I'm going to suggest bending your left elbow and planting your left hand onto your hip for a little kickstand. Use that to press down, and from there, lift the ribs and the waist. Allow gravity to do its really sweet work on your teeth, your tongue, the skin around your face and your scalp. Press all of the bones of your feet into the floor. Inhale into your rib cage. Exhale, rise, back up, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, breathe in. Exhale, adjust your stance for triangle. Heel toe your back foot in about 1 time. Tip over the right leg, breathe in. Exhale, Right hand to right shin or floor. Top arm again can rise up, or maybe this time you take it into a half bind behind your back. Now, one practice for me that really allows me to feel very grounded in my own body is envisioning myself from Earth's perspective, as if you could see yourself through the vision of Earth's eyes. So seeing yourself on the surface of the earth. And something for me about that vastness is really anchoring. And knowing the truth that we are deeply connected to everything on this earth. Unwind the arm if it's bound. Inhale, open the chest up, full triangle pose. As you exhale, cartwheel both hands down into a runner's lunge. Pivot your back heel up. Option to set the back knee down, or you can keep the back knee lifted. As you inhale, rise the arms and the chest for a high lunge or low lunge. Exhale, press into both of your feet, and again, feel that rebounding lift upwards. Spread your hand bones, let the lightness rise up the arms, up the chest. And resist the urge to let gravity just drag you down. Push your front heel down and forward so your pelvic bones lift up. You could even take your hands to your pelvis and press down to lift up. All together, exhale, bring the hands to frame the front foot, set the back knee down. Inhale, shift your hips over your back knee. As you exhale, spin your back toes to the right, and then press into both feet and rise up for gate pose. So you're going to be set up in this sort of almost like a warrior two low stance. Straighten the right leg, flex the toes back toward your face, and take a moment to ground firmly through the top of your back foot and your right heel. From there, that grounding, inhale, rise up, and exhale, side bend to the right. Imagine that you had a pillar from your left hip bone down your left thigh bone into the ground. One of my really dear friends likes to call gravity Earth's version of love, right? The way that we're held by Earth, the way that we're supported by Earth is through the gravitational pull. And so we can feel that as something that makes us heavy, or we can feel that as something that really holds us and supports us. Next, inhale, rise, torso back up, arms to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands down to the hip. Shift the weight into the left. Take a deep breath in. This is a bit of a funky transition. And as you exhale, pop your right knee so your hips are hips distance apart. Oh, I get a really nice little whoosh there. So take a moment and just feel the difference in the two legs. From there, again, that pillar-like sensation through the thigh bones. Anchor down through the tops of the feet. Hands come to the hips. Baby, baby, itty bitty camel. Press your thumbs, your hands into your hips. Inhale, go for length. Lift up, up, up through the torso. And you have the option to squeeze a little bit through the shoulder blades and the elbows. Right? This should not feel any pain in your low back, just a lifting sensation through the spine. You might explore leaning your weight a little back to press more into the tops of your feet. And come on out, inhale, rise up. You can give it a little shake out. And then to come out completely, you can either just stand right up, or you can play with this transition, hands to hips, tuck your back toes under, bring the weight back into the heels, and then you kind of pop the knees up and rise to stand. And come back to Tadasana. You may be able to feel here that your 2 feet are not the same weight. Right? Feel the heaviness, the lightness. And maybe that moment of broadening your awareness, broadening your perspective, feeling your place here, right where you are on the surface of the earth. Take a cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Second side. Heel toe your feet 3 to 4 feet apart. Spin your left toes out for warrior two. Inhale, open the arms out. Exhale, bend into the left knee. Exhale, take left forearm to left thigh. Top arm can be up. Or again, for a little extra grounding, especially if you have sort of a frenetic brain thing going on, you can anchor your right hand onto the flat bone of your sacrum with your middle finger running down your tailbone. All right, this pose can feel very heavy. And while we are working with being grounded in our bodies, being grounded energetically, that does not necessarily mean that you need to feel heavy. All right, so where is the lightness? For me, it's about pushing into the floor and lifting out of that press. You can also get a feeling of lightness with your breath, right? With a full, sweet, maybe even a little bit of a playful quality of breathing. Inhale, take your arm up and over your ear. Exhale, rise up, warrior two. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. Again, option, suggestion really, to take right hand to right hip for kickstand. Come back to that feeling of being fully supported, not only by Mother Earth, but also by your allies, right? Who and what do you have supporting you right now? And for me, as soon as I start thinking about my guides, my energy shifts. So can you sense that? Inhale, rise up, warrior two. Exhale, straighten the front leg and adjust the stance for triangle. Inhale, tip over your left leg. Exhale, ground left hand. Right arm can rise up, full triangle pose, or option for a half bind. Wrap the arm behind you, catch clothing or inner thigh. Now, in your own body, sort of isolated, one way that you can play with grounding is by anchoring into your bones. So feel the bones of your feet on the floor. And feel the bones of your legs and hug the muscles of your legs onto the bones. So you're anchoring into your center. Check if doing that, get your teeth or your jaw a little involved. You can slide that a bit left, right. Unwind your arm if it's not there. Full triangle. Inhale, open across the chest. Look down as you exhale. Cartwheel your hands down into runner's lunge. Pivot the back heel up. For a little more fire, keep the back knee lifted, or option to set that right knee down. Press into both feet. And inhale, start rising up, arms lift. All right, high or low lunge. And watch how gravity, again, makes you feel sort of heavy here. Resist the urge to let your pelvis sink. And instead, press through the back foot, press through the left heel. Lift the bones up. Bones of the pelvis off the thigh bone, ribs off the spine. And if you need help, use your hands on your hips and push down to lift. Slow and smooth out your breathing. Find that breath that makes you feel calm, centered. Exhale, ground your hands, frame out your front foot. Inhale, shift your hips over your back knee for gate pose and spin your right toes to the left. The right shin is now parallel to the short edge of your mat. Inhale to walk yourself up. Straighten the left leg, heel in line with knee. Turn your torso to face the long edge of your mat. Anchor down through the thigh bone, anchor down through your right top of foot. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, side bend to the left. What does it feel like when you ground your energy? And that question might not have an answer. You're simply asking, when I am grounded, when I'm at peace, what does it feel like? Inhale, both arms rise up, torso rises up. Exhale, hands to the hips. Mindful transition out, shift your weight a little to the right. Exhale to pop your knees down, knees hips distance apart. Thumbs on your sacrum, hands on your hips. One more round, baby camel. Really just an anchoring, right? Thigh bones anchor, shin bones anchor. Press into the hands, inhale, lift. Lift the chest, lift the back of the ribs off the low back. To go a little deeper in the shoulders, squeeze shoulder blades together. If you would feel happy to do so, you could open the gaze more up or keep the chin tucked. Inhale, wash your breath up into your collarbones. And exhale, release. Feel free to give your hips a little wiggle. And then we'll finish up again in standing. You can simply rise or tuck toes, shift the weight back, pop up, Tadasana. Feel the effects of just a few standing poses. Has your energy shifted? Are you more tuned in to the grounding energy through your bones? The feeling of gravity pulling on you. Draw one hand to heart, one hand to belly. Take a moment to feel the support of your allies, of your guides again, one last time. And we'll close this practice with gratitude. So take a moment and explore, what are you grateful for? Right? Gratitude not only is an expression of love, it also brings us immediately access to joy. And it grounds us in this reality that here we are with these blessings. Think of one thing that you are grateful for, and let that just run through your tissues, through your aura, through your field. Draw your hands together at your heart. Stand really nice and tall. Last breath together. Deep inhale. Clear it out. Thank you all so very much for letting me guide you, for joining me in practice. Please take this with you. All of these tools you can use at any point throughout your day to help you ground, to help you move out of stress, move out of anxiety, that frenetic energy, and to land here where you are. Thank you, my friends.